Grace Millanes Case. A beautiful young tourist in the prime of her life goes missing after a Tinder date in New Zealand.
The British backpacker Grace Millane to death in his central Auckland apartment.
Grace Millane was on a solo trip around the world when she took a break from travelling and went out on a date while in Auckland. She wasn't seen alive again. What happened to Grace Millane after her date? What was the cause of her death? Will Grace's family, thousands of miles away, ever find answers? Born on December 2, 1996, Grace Emma Rose Millane was from Wickford, Essex, a county east of England. Grace's father had 2 sons from a previous marriage, and she was her parents' first and only daughter. One of Grace's favourite pastimes was hockey. As she grew older, she began teaching and coaching the younger players on her team. While enrolled at the University of Lincoln, Grace played on their hockey team. She graduated in 2018 with a degree in advertising and marketing. Instead of throwing herself directly into the workforce or returning immediately back to school, Grace decided it would be a good idea to take a gap year. She'd always dreamed of traveling and seeing the world and felt she was at the perfect point in her life to do it. On November 18, 2018, Grace flew to New Zealand after spending 2 weeks in South America to continue on her adventure around the world. Grace arrived in Auckland on November 30, 2018. She checked into her accommodation at the City Life Hotel in Auckland the following day. December 2, 2018 was Grace's 22nd birthday, and her family grew concerned when she didn't respond to any of their birthday wishes.
The following day was her 22nd birthday, but when her family sent her messages, she never replied.
3 days went by with no contact from Grace, so her family alerted authorities in Auckland about their missing daughter.
We didn't get a reply and none of the messages were delivered. We raised our concerns on Monday.
After her parents' call, investigators began looking into Grace's disappearance on December 5. The next day, December 6, the authorities would announce that they had a suspect in the case. Although the man was in their custody, the investigators could not yet reveal a name. While searching through footage, investigators uncovered almost 1 hour of CCTV footage of Grace's final hours, including the man who murdered her. On December 1, 2018, the hotel's video surveillance captured Grace exiting the building at 5:37 p.m. after snapping a photo of a Christmas tree in the lobby. Various business security cameras captured Grace walking towards Sky City, an Auckland dining, shopping and entertainment complex. At 5:47 p.m, video surveillance from Sky City shows Grace hugging a man who investigators would later identify as her killer, Jesse Kempson. The two are then caught on video visiting several bars before ending up in the Bluestone Room. While at the bar, the investigators watched on camera as Jessie dug through Grace's purse and placed it back on the table while she went to the restroom. Around 9:40, CCTV footage showed Grace and Jessie leaving the Bluestone Room together with their arms around each other. The pair were walking in the direction of the City Life building. Videotape footage captured Jessie and Grace walking into the lobby, through to the elevators, and up to the 3rd floor. The CCTV video of Grace leaving the elevator on the 3rd floor are the last images of her alive. After that time, there is no footage or evidence of her leaving the City Life building. The police investigating Grace's disappearance are baffled. They searched her room and the hotel's perimeter but found no sign of Grace. Yet, the video footage never captured Grace leaving the hotel, or did it? How could Grace get out of the building without the cameras catching her? Although the video didn't have any more footage of Grace, after the night of December 1, 2018, her date, Jessie, reappeared at 8 a.m. Surveillance footage on the street caught Jessie walking to the mall where he entered a store called The Warehouse. Jessie isn't seen on video while shopping, but the camera does capture him as he's about to pay. At the register, the video surveillance caught Jessie paying for a large suitcase and cleaning supplies. Jessie returns to the City Life Hotel and goes up to the 3rd floor, wheeling the suitcase the entire time. Shockingly, Jesse goes back out on another Tinder date on the afternoon of December 2, 2018. When he returns to the City Life Hotel later that evening, the surveillance cameras showed Jesse leaving the third floor wheeling a suitcase. He also rented a car and stopped at a store to buy a shovel. After Grace's parents reported her missing to the Auckland authorities on December 5, 2018, investigators called Jesse to the station for questioning. Jesse came to the detectives' attention after recently commenting on one of Grace's Facebook photos. Investigators began asking Jesse about his Tinder date with Grace, and he said the night went as planned, and at 8 p.m. he said goodnight to her. This statement contradicted the CCTV footage the detectives had reviewed, footage showing Jesse staying the night at the City Life Hotel with Grace. Later in the investigation, police searched Jesse's phone and found his disturbing search history. On the morning of when investigators believe Jesse murdered Grace, he Googled terms like rigor mortis, flesh-eating vultures, hottest fire, and, most upsettingly, Waitakere Ranges, where Jesse ultimately disposed of Grace's body. Detectives confronted Jesse with the camera footage and told him they knew he was lying. Jesse admitted on December 8, 2018 that Grace was dead, but that it wasn't his fault. He didn't murder her. Jesse had Googled the area where he buried Grace's body, and the GPS locator on his phone had tracked his movements. This allowed the detectives to find her body. At approximately 4 p.m. on December 9, 2018, Grace's body was found buried in a suitcase about an hour from the City Life Hotel. Throughout the next few days, bits and pieces of information about Grace's murder would leak to the media. It wouldn't be until the suspect's murder trial that prosecutors would reveal the awful truth of what happened to Grace on the eve of her 22nd birthday. After the announcement that detectives had caught Grace's killer and found her body, the residents of New Zealand held candlelight vigils for the slain tourist all across the country. In January 2019, Grace's family held a funeral service for her in Brentwood Cathedral. Grace's murder devastated her family, who had first called to check on their daughter, thinking she had lost cell reception. Now they had to bury her. In January 2019, Jesse pled not guilty to Grace's murder. His trial wouldn't be until nearly a year later, in November. The trial lasted 3 weeks. Before the court date, the investigators and prosecutors never released Jesse's name. Keeping the suspect's name a secret is a practice in New Zealand that they use to protect the integrity of a case, so the media don't influence the jurors. The trial ended 3 weeks later, but not before the defense said Grace's death resulted from rough but consensual sexual intercourse. Evidence presented by the prosecutors indicated to the jury that Grace's death was accidental. But if Jesse hadn't killed Grace intentionally, then why did he take steps to conceal her death? The prosecutors also showed the jurors the Tinder messages between Jesse and Grace before the meeting that fateful evening. Jesse was persistent, even aggressively asking Grace to meet him that night. Jurors declared Jesse guilty of Grace's murder. After 5 hours of deliberation, they sentenced him to life in prison. The Prime Minister of New Zealand sent out a statement to Grace's family, apologising for their daughter's loss and saying Grace should have been safe in New Zealand.
Your daughter should have been safe here, and she wasn't, and I'm sorry for that.